Welcome to Pivot, a podcast hosted by Katie Day, where we find out how business owners have been pivoting their businesses to stay relevant and successful.
Hey guys, what's going on? Katie Day with the Moving to Texas team at Coldwell Banker. I am joined today by my good friend Jesse Soto with Texas American Title in the Heights. How you doing today, Jesse? What's going on?
Doing good. Just, living the new normal.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Cool. So for those of the audience out there, other than, my mom and your mom that are listening to this right now that don't know you and who you are, give us a little quick intro on Jesse Soto.
Yeah, well, you said it. I'm Jesse Soto. I work at Texas American Title in the Heights, as you can see by the name. But I'm the marketing rep here. I do senior business development for the Heights office. I do have my escrow license, so I do a little bit of closings now and then, do a lot of mobile closings, especially now during COVID, where folks don't feel comfortable actually coming to the office. So I drive out to their house and we'll close them. And basically, I'm just kind of the in-between with the escrow officers, my two escrow officers, Mr. Ron Martinez and Christy Wickham, and the realtors. So I just basically try and gain as much business as I can for my amazing escrow officers in my office.
Cool. So how did you get into title? I know it's such an exciting industry. How did you find your way into real estate and into title?
Yeah. So it was funny, actually. It's a long story, but I'll do the shortened version. So I was just looking online. I needed a quick job. I was looking to maybe do something for a little bit. Talked to a buddy of mine who's a headhunter, and he was like, "Hey, I've got this opening at Stewart Title if you want to jump on." And I was just looking to do it for a little bit, and I got promoted a little bit, and then jumped ship. And once my amazing, wonderful boss, Stacy Keithy, took me from Stewart to Texas American, and I've never looked back. So it was kind of, I didn't go to school basically thinking, I kind of want to be a marketing rep at a title company. I just kind of fell in it. I think like a lot of people in the title industry.
Yeah. And I feel like kind of real estate in general, right? But I mean, I think, as far as business development and marketing, you've got the personality for it, you're fun to be around and talkative and all, all the things that are personable, things like that.
It's nice of you to say, Katie Day.
Yeah, he didn't pay me to say that. So yeah, fair. Cool. So how long have you been in the title industry?
So fully, it's been like 8 years, I believe. Texas American, I've been here for 5. So yeah, no, it's been awesome. It's been that quick.
And it's cool that you have your escrow officer license, so you're able to do closings as well and help out, in the office and things like that.
Oh yeah, and it's nice for like a realtor or a buyer or seller to call me like on a Saturday, and just I can answer something like in 5 minutes rather than let them like steam on it for the weekend and then do it Monday. So it's nice. So I like my escrow officers to have a weekend.
I'm sure they like that too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with everything that's going on in the world right now, I feel like a lot of people are focusing kind of on the negative and things like that. What would you say, either personally or professionally, is the biggest positive that you've seen in your life or that you've gotten out of COVID?
So to be honest, it's just personally, on a personal level, it's just been able to be closer to my wife and my 1-year-old son. It's been nice to, especially the start of COVID when everyone didn't know what was going to happen or do. So they kind of made us stay at the house, especially marketing reps. So I got to spend a lot of time with my son and my wife, and that was awesome. It was awesome. Professionally, it's actually been the best year I've had thus far, just with, mortgage rates being so low. We've been just crushing it with the refinances.
Yeah.
So that's been a really, really big upside on that. And really, it's just getting to know people, just because you're with COVID and everything happening, you're really getting to know people on a personal level, be it the realtors, be it the lenders, be it, the buyers or sellers. So that's been a big thing I've gotten out of COVID.
Do you think your wife and son would also say that their biggest positive is you being home with them?
My wife, not for sure not. Because you ask the people I work with here at the office, I always go in and see what they're doing. I'm like, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?" And I did the exact same thing to my wife.
Yeah.
On a Teams or Zoom call with her.
I was gonna say, she's like, "I'm on a Zoom call."
Yeah, I'm that guy.
Yeah. I, have been on, some different webinars and podcasts and things like that over the past few months. So I always text Ryan and I'm like, hey, I'm on a call like that can't be interrupted, just as a heads up. So especially for like live stuff, I've had, him walk by in the background, especially when we're in the old house, so kind of funny. Kind of funny. Yeah. And I mean, just to kind of touch on the professional, as far as refinances, I know, it's been a crazy year for refinances. Every, mortgage professional I've talked to, escrow officer, people are really taking advantage of the ability to, either save money by lowering their monthly payment or pull cash out of their house. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity there for homeowners for sure.
It is. And that's why we actually lowered our escrow fee to $275 rather than the regular $450. So anybody that's looking to refinance their home, bring it to me. We're the cheapest ones in the city of Houston.
Yeah, that's good to know. Good to know. Good information. So, obviously real estate is a people business. It's a face-to-face business, especially, your position, marketing rep, you go to different real estate offices, you're visiting with different agents, things like that. So the podcast, the entire premise behind it is pivot, right? Yep. So where we kind of are in the world today, we've seen businesses and companies and individuals, really, really pivoting to continue to serve their clients and customers and stay relevant. What would you say, both from your position and kind of the title industry as a whole, what have you guys done to ensure that you stay relevant or that have helped you to be successful?
Yeah, so a few of my buddies are really good buddies are, vets. They were Marines and everything. Mm-hmm. And their main saying when something goes like this is adapt and overcome. And that's kind of what we've all had to do through COVID. So we've just been, trying to figure it out as we go. We first started doing, basically we called it kind of VIP closings, where we send the documents to the buyers or the sellers, and they literally read it all out and fill everything out themselves, like signature wise, except for the notary parts. And then they bring it, literally just pull up to our office, and we have an escrow officer that just goes right out there and signs the notary parts, and they sign that. So it takes maybe 5 minutes tops, and then they go, just so they don't have to come into the office and deal everything with that. And we also did a lot of closings outside as well. Just because with the safe 6 to 7 feet difference, we actually brought the closing tables downstairs for them. And it was nice, before it got so hot, to do the and we always had a ton of hand sanitizer. Big shout out to Whitmeyer's Distilling for taking care of all that stuff for us. And then we also have Notarize, which it's big sellers that they don't even have to leave their house. They literally just do it like a DocuSign on their computer. So that was a big thing is the closing issues, was just trying to figure out how to make ourselves feel safe, the clients feel safe, and just everybody, kind of safe. We do require masks now. And at first, it was tough because we would tell the realtors, we just want your client to come to the office. And then I kind of thought, well, when I closed on my house, first time home buyer, I wanted my realtor there. I had no idea what the hell was going on. So we kind of, we don't want it crazy filled the rooms now, because we are closing in the office because it's a lot easier. But especially if it's first time home buyer, please have your realtor there, because, you will have questions, and it's just nice to have another person. But on the marketing side, it's pretty tough. It's been really, really tough, because you're right. You can't go to the offices. I can't take people out to happy hours. I can't, do the things I'm used to. So I've been sending out a lot of notes. I don't know if you've seen my little posts on Facebook, the congrats on your new contract, where I photoshopped myself right in there.
Did you use paint to do that, or how'd you Photoshop that on?
No, it's called cut and paste, I believe. It's an app. And then I've started to get really good at it. So I've been sending my buddies stuff of them just like in weird, awkward, pictures. It's been fun. But, just touching and like letting people know that we're out there and that we do care, we care like crazy. And it's been nuts because I've been on way more Zoom calls than I ever thought I would be on, way more online meetings. It seems like people just want to be in meetings so they can talk. and just kind of following up. That's the biggest thing is the follow up. And a lot of title companies that I feel forget about that. Like when somebody closes, you should call them up the next week. And I'm giving out my playbook, but hey, it's what it is. But it's nice just to talk to the realtors and the clients because they're in the same boat. I am. They have usually the same personality, very people person. So they need to talk as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think, as far as giving away your playbook, I know you have a lot of different things in there, different tricks up your sleeve. So no worries there. And they're not Jesse Soto, so
yeah,
there's that too. No, that's really cool. And I think that was our biggest thing as far as kind of when the stay-at-home order first got put into place and everything was kind of happening and we really didn't know what was going to happen to real estate, right?
Yeah.
And kind of how the market was, what was going to happen with the market, what was going to happen with our transactions. If we can't get out of our homes, like, what are we going to do? So I know that, all the title companies were really quick to be like, what can we do differently? What can we do, outside? How can we, do curbside closings? What different ways to pivot. So it's good to hear that you guys were quick to do that and had lots of different options for people.
Yeah, you kind of have to be in this world.
Yeah, for sure. Cool, man. Well, what else? So as you were saying, you're putting pictures of yourself as people brought you files up on Facebook. For people to connect with you on social media, where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, so on Instagram, they can find me at Jesse in the Heights, even though now I'm living over in the Memorial area. But Jesse in the Heights, Facebook, just Jesse Soto, or I do have Jesse Soto Tatco. So, look me up on any social media, LinkedIn, Jesse Soto. But I'm pretty easy to be found. If you want to find me, Google me. I'm there.
The Jesse Soto of the Houston Heights.
Jesse Soto, yeah.
Cool. So just out of curiosity, I know this wasn't something that we had discussed as far as questions, but I love putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
What would you say, since you are the Houston Heights expert, what would you say is maybe your top or your top 3 local businesses that you've been supporting over in the Heights over the past few months?
Oh man,
I know there's so many. So that's what I was gonna say, your top, but then I realized you probably have a top 10. So we can try to narrow the list a little bit.
The ones that I really, really like supporting are the ones that support me. I'm just going to lump in Agricole Hospitality because I go to Revival Market for their breakfast, and I bought some of the brats there, and I brought it over for my mom and dad out in Splendora. Oh God, they're amazing. They have the best meat market, I would say, in Texas at Revival. And then of course their sister bar, 8 Row Flint, which has the best bourbon in Houston. And then Cultivare for dinner. They do to-goes, and now they have it selling at HEB as well.
Well, and then if we're just going to piggyback off that, you've got Vinny's and,
Vinny's and Indianola.
Also good. But.
So we'll lump that all in. But Mastranto's I've been going to a lot. I was really sad that they're not open for lunch right now.
Yeah.
That's my go-to. But I've taken some home. And I've bought a few things over at Manready Mercantile on 19th.
They're making it too easy over at Manready to pick stuff up. You just go online and you order it, and then you drive up and you're like, hey, I'm here, and they bring it out to you. So you don't have to get out of the AC of your car. You just, can shop from the comfort of your own home. Ryan's bought a candle, some button-down shirts. He bought me some shirts. So we're all set. Manready has us outfitted.
Yeah. Manready has been taking care of the people. And then Harold's, of course. I can't not mention Harold's and Allie Jarrett and her team. They're phenomenal. But you know what? The one thing I do want to say, if I've got a little bit of time, is just loving to see the love of Houston as a whole. Not only the Heights, but just the city itself. Because I'll go and maybe get a to-go cocktail at 8 Row, and they'll say, hey, what are you doing for dinner? And I'll say, oh, well, I'm going to go pick up Mastranto's. And they'll say, please bring them this. And they'll give me a bunch of Jello shots or something. And I'll bring that over to Mastranto's. And the Mastranto's will say, hey, let me make them some pasta and then bring it over to there. But the restaurant industry as a whole, it's really tough for them right now because most things are to go. They're really, really relying on each other and seeing that resilience and just everything as Houston has to offer. it's been amazing. And that's why, Houston is the best city in the nation. You saw it during Hurricane Harvey, and you're seeing it during COVID. That just people love each other, and it's awesome. We are in this together.
Yeah, completely agree. And it's really cool to see some of the collaborations too that the restaurants are doing, and been really fun to eat different combinations of food and be able to pick up some food at other restaurants. And it's cool. It's really cool.
For sure. And, here at Texas American Title in the Heights, Katie Day, we like to be there for you from open to close. So, if you do need any real estate information or anything like that, please let us know. We're here for you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. But all joking aside, I do appreciate you taking the time to chat today. It's been awesome to spend some time with you.
Yeah, we're hitting up some cool restaurant at least once every other week or something.
I know. I guess what we could do is go pick up some to-go food and sit in a parking lot somewhere and hang out. Sit on your truck, the bed of your truck, and hang out.
We can do that.
But no, I truly appreciate you joining me today to chat a little bit about kind of how TACCO and you have pivoted over the past few months. Sure. If you all are looking to buy or sell or refinance and you need somewhere to do the settlement, Texas American Title is always a great place to go to do that. So look up Jesse Soto and see what he can do to help you out. But thanks again, and I'll chat with you soon, man.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Katie.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Pivot. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow Katie on social media at MoveMe2TX to stay up to date in all things real estate.